Everyone tells you to use AI for data analysis, and they're right, you should use AI for data analysis. But here's the catch: AI analytics isn't one thing, it's at least three. Each one works differently, each one serves different use cases, each one breaks in different ways. That's what we're clearing up today, because infrastructure matters, especially if you want reliable results with Vibe Analytics. There are three main types of AI analytics infrastructure. Type 1. Conversational AI for your data. This is what most people picture when they hear AI analytics. You upload a spreadsheet, connect a file, or paste an export into an LLM. Then you ask questions in plain English. ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini all work this way. Fast, flexible, zero technical setup. You ask, it answers. Type 2. AI-augmented BI tools. These are your traditional platforms: Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, and others. They layered AI on top of existing infrastructure. They auto-generate chart narratives. They flag anomalies. They suggest visualizations. Some even let you query your dashboards in natural language. The AI here sits inside a governed, connected data environment. Type 3. Specialized AI analytics platforms. Tools like ThoughtSpot and Telias were built from the ground up. They query structured business data using natural language. This isn't a BI tool with AI bolted on. AI is a part of the core architecture. These platforms sit inside larger enterprise data stacks. They need serious setup and data modeling work. Today, we'll focus on conversational AI and AI-augmented BI tools. Most business teams use these right now. They drive decisions across marketing, finance, sales, and operations. We'll stack them side by side. We'll see what works best and where, and we'll show you a solution that sits right in between. But first, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Our next video is on why dashboards are dying. You don't want to miss that. Back to business. Let's start with AI-augmented BI tools. These are the go-to for teams already running BI systems. Here's why they work. They connect to live data sources by design, so the AI always works with fresh data, not last week's snapshot. The outputs are consistent and governed. Everyone on your team gets the same answer to the same question, every time, calculated the same way. The BI system runs the calculations, not the AI, so the math holds up. These tools scale with large complex data sets without losing accuracy. And once you've set it up, the day-to-day is simple. You ask, you get your analysis or visualization, done. AI-augmented BI tools are powerful, but they aren't for everyone, and here's why. Setup costs are high. You need technical team involvement, ongoing maintenance, real-time investment before anyone can use it, and that doesn't stop. Someone has to keep maintaining for the AI to keep working. The AI only answers questions the system was built to handle. Anything outside it can't help. There's no memory between conversations. Every new session starts from scratch. That limits how deep you can go over time. These platforms are stronger at visual outputs, like charts, dashboards, summaries. They're weaker at written explanations. And for non-technical users, changing a report usually still needs an admin. Now let's talk conversational AI. This is what most people mean by Vibe Analytics. It's getting huge traction and it's easy to see why. Zero technical setup. You upload your data. You ask questions in seconds. Anyone non-technical on your team can use it from day one. You don't need formulas or queries. You describe what you want in plain English. It figures out the rest. It spots patterns and anomalies, even small shifts across hundreds of data points. You stay focused on what those findings mean for the business. You can ask a question, follow up, and keep digging in the same chat. No rebuilding. You're having a conversation with your data. And when it's set up right, it takes you from a number to a decision. Not just your ROAS dropped, but why and where to move the budget. Now, conversational AI breaks down in 6 specific ways. If you felt burned by AI tools before, one of these is almost certainly why. 1. It's disconnected from your business tools and live data. It analyzes whatever file you uploaded. The moment your data changes, your analysis is stale, and those files are rarely complete or well structured to begin with. 2. It doesn't know your business context. It doesn't know what your metrics mean. It doesn't know how your product behaves in specific markets. Without that context, AI reads the numbers in vacuum. 3. It can't turn messy requirements into clear business questions. Not without human expertise. So the analysis stays surface level unless you prompt it well. 4. Context windows are limited. Large datasets get cut off. When that happens, accuracy drops. 5. Results aren't consistent or traceable. Ask the same question in different tools or sessions. You can get different numbers. There's no reliable layer underneath to guarantee accuracy. And 6. It's unreliable for large-scale aggregations and statistics. That makes it risky anywhere accurate numbers matter. So, which one should you choose? Honestly, that's the wrong question. Look at the strengths side by side. Something obvious shows up. These tools don't compete, they complete each other. The teams getting the best results aren't choosing, they've figured out how to get both at once. Here's what that means. AI-augmented BI tools win on reliability, live data, governed outputs, reproducible results, audit trails. Conversational AI wins on speed and flexibility. Zero setup, plain English, ad hoc exploration, narrative output. Each tool's weakness is another's strength. So the real question is this. What happens if conversational AI has the data reliability of an augmented BI platform? Because that combination is where AI analytics becomes a decision-making tool, not an interesting experiment. Coupler.io makes that possible. It's a data integration and AI analytics platform. It connects to 400 plus data sources. It pipes live, structured data directly into ChatGPT, Claude, or its own built-in AI agent. In the middle sits the analytical engine. Before any data reaches the AI, Coupler.io does the work. It executes the queries, it runs the calculations, it validates the results, and returns only verified outputs. The AI never touches raw data. It only interprets answers that have already been confirmed as accurate. What you get is conversational AI that behaves like a natively augmented tool. You ask in plain English. The data behind the answer is live and verified. That's the combination. For most business teams, it's the setup that actually works. That's all for today's overview. Now you have the infrastructure to start. Nail the data layer with AI-augmented BI tools or with conversational AI plus Coupler.io. You'll get better results when you talk to your data. To see how to chat with your data inside Coupler.io, watch our quick tutorial. I'll see you there!